All right, that smooth, silky voice. Okay. And start up in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. We're Nerds the New Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, a.k.a. The Hoarder, with my co-host.
This is Eli, aka King Ghidorah.
That is a Godzilla reference, right?
It is.
I'm getting better. I knew he was either Godzilla or Smash Brothers. One of the other. All right, yeah. So we're back with another episode, and I think we can all agree that 2020 sucks right now. So because we are all coming live from quarantine, Eli and I are we are promoting social distancing because that's what we're doing right now. But we've always been doing that, so that's what we do. So
yes, I've never made eye contact. Well, yeah, I guess I did make eye contact with you once
on other people's podcasts. Yeah,
our other people's podcasts where I can see your face.
Right. I'm like, oh shit, Eli's not black.
We're on a webcam.
Right.
I was like, oh shit, Leroy's black.
So just shocking news all over the place. So yeah, so this is a weird time that we're in right now. Everybody's just trying to come to grips. Eli, people are adjusting. People are adjusting to life in quarantine now. It's a weird thing. There's this new thing called TikTok. You heard of it?
I have, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Like I said,
it's like the new Vine or something.
That's exactly what it is. It's Vine, but Vine died, so TikTok can survive. And it's an upcrease in that because nobody has anything to do, so just sitting around just making TikTok videos all day. Also, do you remember in the 90s song D Nice? My name is D Nice, blah, blah, blah. That guy. Remember the song? Rap song? Whatever. Okay. So what was a popular thing because people aren't allowed to go to the clubs. Now, I say allowed. That means some idiots still didn't go, but that's the point. People still went to the club. People weren't allowed to go to the clubs. So what DJs are doing are going on Instagram Live and Facebook Live and Facebook and things like that, and they're doing DJ sessions. So D Nice, the rapper from the 90s, is now a DJ now. He did his own DJ session, and he had 100,000 followers doing his DJ session. Like, everybody jumped in. Like, Michelle Obama jumped in and commented and everything like that. So that was the place to be for him, and he was just rocking out. It's like, okay, this is awesome. It's like having a club in your living room, even though you can't really go anywhere. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, a lot of bands were doing. I know St. Patty's Day, that band, that punk band, Dropkick Murphys. They usually do it, they're from Boston, and they have a tradition. They play a show on St. Patty's Day in Boston, but they live streamed it this time because Boston was shut down.
Right.
So,
and more
I was watching that, but I've seen that other bands. Yeah, bands are just live streaming, from their practice spaces and shit like that. And
bringing music.
There was a virtual powwow this weekend.
Oh, really?
I got invited to a virtual powwow where people were just dancing like in their backyards and live streaming, and they had like MCs and drum groups going live and all that. I was like, that's pretty clever.
Yeah, so it's like
technology.
What the guy say? Life will find a way. So we will always find a way to do something. Now we're adjusting, Eli, but who's having a hard time with this? Old people, because we always had to show them how to use social media. They don't know what social media is. They don't know what a computer is. So they having a hard time adjusting to this stuff because that's why they're trying to still go to church on Sundays when we're telling him social gathering means no social gatherings. That includes church. You can't go. I understand God got you. God is going to have you if you go. So everybody just stay home. Social gathering, social distancing means social distancing. No one goes anywhere. Also, another thing that's weird is that because all these towns getting locked down, California's getting locked down, New York's getting locked down, Mississippi is not getting locked down. Our governor does not give a shit about us. He just said Mississippi's not China, will never be China. Like, okay.
Minnesota, we're not locked down yet either. I mean, everything's closed down. Only essential businesses are open, but we haven't gone the shelter in place thing yet.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's probably coming because he's got National Guard coming in to help out with deliveries and shit, just jobs basically, working around.
So I know they're in Georgia.
So we're not in shelter in place yet.
Yeah. So the National Guard is just coming to just help out. They're not, totalitarian rule or anything like that. They had, because I know it's the apocalypse and we're supposed to.
And I've been following. I mean, I like follow shit that I've been looking at what's been going on in China. Look at what's going on in Europe, and it sucks, but people are adjusting. I mean, hearing people in Germany or Spain or Italy saying, yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks not being able to go anywhere, but you know, it's fine. It's not that bad. People were just don't panic. There's people who say don't panic. At first, yeah, there was like fights, for over toilet paper, but now, the supermarkets are stocked and everything's calm, and they're in full quarantine, and it's,
Meanwhile, Eli, I haven't had water in a week because
oh,
my
really?
supermarket is just sold out of water, so I'm like losing my fucking mind.
You can't drink the water
here.
down there?
I drunk
right.
it
You're
all.
down like in the.
Remember we talked about this last week? I said I.
No, I mean you can't drink your tap water.
Hell no! In Jackson, Mississippi, do you want me to die?
Oh, I don't know, man.
We get
I
a
guess you're down by
boil
the
water
Gulf,
alert
right.
every other week about don't even bathe with it.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, so I'm trying not to die before Corona gets to me. So yeah, that's the thing about that. So I haven't had any water in a week. I'm just going crazy. I just drink anything. Just drunk chocolate milk early today, even though I never drink that shit. Just trying to do something. And the funny thing about it, like all people are getting scared of the military nowadays. I'm joking with my military friends online right now. It's on Facebook. Like, you guys not gonna kill us next week, are you? So we had what's that politician Marco Rubio. That's his name.
Rubio. Yeah, Rubio.
I think it's his name. Mark
Yeah.
Rubio, Mark Ruffalo. What his name is? Okay. So he
Rubio,
made
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so he made a tweet saying that, I need you guys to stop spreading rumors about martial law. Martial law is not going to happen. But the thing is, he misspelled martial in martial law. So the day in Twitter, Eminem was trending number one. Right. Because Eminem's name is Marshall Mathers, so there's all kind of memes of Eminem popping up, stuff like that. So does it mean Marshall Mathers become, and then like the store Marshall's, law. Of course, martial law on Tekken was also trending, So people just go crazy over that. So he had it. So we're I don't think martial law is going to be a thing, but at the same time, people do need to quit being idiots. We understand your spring break is canceled.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Let's chill the fuck out, man.
Right.
Like I said, maybe I got an advantage. I've been cooped up since New Year's. With my bum leg, I haven't been able to go anywhere. So, it sucks. And it was getting to me. I was getting grouchy,
stir crazy.
But I was also in pain too.
Mm-hmm.
I was in pain too. So, but you can read, watch some shit.
There will be other things happening. For instance, okay, so
write some shit. Yeah.
So this is quarantine, right? So there's a new thing also trending. Also, Eli, quarantine and chill.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you know how the baby boomers.
I've seen those memes too.
Yeah, you know how the baby boomers were. This is going to be the new baby boom.
Yeah.
So what are
Coronials or whatever?
Coronials. That's wrong. Sound like time travelers or something. What the fuck? The quarantine.
They say, was it doggy style? Doggy style's more safer. You don't spread your you're not breathing in each other's faces. So
the proper way to have corona
positions
sex. Quarantine hazmat suits on and shit. So we're in March now, so we should see baby showers popping up left and right in December. That's where it should be right now. So yeah, quarantine chill. But here's the thing: quarantine chill is also a gift and a curse, also, because yes, you're quarantined with that special someone. But we're starting to realize that after 2-3 days, maybe a week, that person is the person that you thought they were. Now you see them waking up in the morning. Now you smell the bad breath in the morning. Now you're hanging around the person all the time. Now you run out of Netflix stuff to watch. Now you're really getting pissed off about this person with you. So we'll see how this quarantine thing lasts. But yeah, I just want any listeners listen to this that's having a baby shower in December, name one of the babies after Eli. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more Elis in the world.
Exactly.
There's not many of us.
Good Elis. Not Eli Manning who fucked up a Super Bowl. Like that. Good Elis. Can we get to the sad news now? Even sadder than Corona?
Sure.
Okay. We had a death.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we had a death. We should have led with that.
We had two. We never mentioned last week's either.
Who died last week?
Max von Sydow last week.
Who?
Max von Sydow.
Oh yeah, Max von Sydow, the Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon, and a bunch of other
From
thousand movies. Also, I think he played
Conan,
Blofeld.
The Exorcist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was in a ton of
he was
stuff.
in
Rush Hour 3 or 2. I can't remember.
Yeah, Star Wars, Judge
He was
Dredd.
like
Like I
2
said, I just
seconds
watched
before
Judge
Kylo Ren
Dredd.
like chopped his head off or something. But still, yeah, great actor.
Yeah.
Been playing like a million roles, shit like that. Rest in peace to him. But also, what I want to talk about was the death of Kenny Rogers, man. That was in it. Yes, a country singer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about a country singer because the youngins don't understand, Eli, how huge Kenny Rogers was back in the 80s.
He had his own chicken, his own restaurant.
He did. He had his own chicken. He was a movie star. And this was back when country. Yeah. See, this is back when country was the #1 selling genre of music back then when music sold. He was the guy at the top of the list. Yeah. Even though
way before hip hop was ever a thing.
Before hip hop was
when white folks still ruled the world.
I mean, white folks still rule the world. Who's the best selling hip hop artist? Eminem.
But I mean, like the music, back, when Bruce Springsteen was like, that was like, people were listening to Bruce Springsteen because that was the shit.
Right.
Way before
Billy Joel and
way
John
Will
Cougar
Smith,
Mellencamp. All those guys.
Yeah, those guys are fucking.
Yeah. So Kenny Rogers was the shit, even though, like I said, Bear Grylls wrote all his music, but he was still the shit over everything. Eli, he was getting played on black stations. That's how big Kenny Rogers was with all his music like that. So I'm just listening to Kenny Rogers, and I didn't know what he did. I'm just like, okay, he's jamming. You know the funny thing about who else was getting played on black stations? Phil Collins. Up until I was like about 8 years old, I thought Phil Collins was black. Until I saw his video, then I realized he was some, Brit, and I was like, wait, what? My whole world was shattered, Anyway, back to Kenny Rogers. He was huge, top of his game, movie star, sold chicken. He did like Colonel Sanders back then, though, and the wavy hair and shit like that. But all I'm gonna say is that Kenny Rogers was a huge thing. No one to hold him, no one to fold him. For him to check out in 2020 when it's getting as fucked up as it is right now, that's the best case of no one to fold him. So all I'm gonna say. Rest in peace, Kenny Rogers. Yeah. Shoot. Any more news before we go into the podcast? Even though it really ain't shit happened this week because everybody's freaking out about the apocalypse. I ordered my Mad Max leather bondage outfit from Amazon, but since Amazon's not shipping anymore, it's just stuck in the mail. So guess next week for the apocalypse. Let's move on to the box office. There is no box office because it's been shut down.
There's no.
But what we can talk about is that
this is the first. What they say, they said this is the first time in 20-something years the box office was zero.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Nobody, because everything's been shut down. I don't think it's ever been a period I know of that the box office has ever been shut down. But yeah, it's crazy. I know last week when we did it, they said it was the lowest box office gross in the last 20 years. So people blaming Bloodshot and the Wow the Hunt for having a low box office, but it wasn't them. It was Corona. Because even Onward flopped, and that's a Pixar movie. They don't flop. I think it's already on digital. I think Onward is already on digital. And
all those movies. Not Bloodshot yet.
Yes, but, Bloodshot is.
The Hunt.
Yes, Bloodshot is. Bloodshot, The Hunt, Birds of Prey. By the time you hear this podcast, all of those movies will be on iTunes for purchase right now. Some other movies too that I'm forgetting about.
Yeah.
Invisible Man also will be on this. So all the movies that you can't see, they'll be available right now. Bad Boys 3, I think, comes out tomorrow. Today.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So even
hopefully I get paid. I didn't get my check on Saturday or Friday, so I was that was another thing that pissed me off. I was, damn, they fucked up my payroll and shit.
Hopefully you get a check. That's the thing.
I wasn't allowed to see anything.
Because
I shouldn't be bitching.
I mean, because as of right now, I don't know if anybody. I know we're not going to turn this to CNN or Fox News, anything like that. But all those $1,000 checks we talked about last week, we were expecting, not getting. We don't know the whole.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it enough to see what's going on like that. Congress is fucking up our money, so we're not getting a check. I'm hearing the deal that even if they would have passed that deal they initially had, it would have been a loan. Then we had to pay that shit back anyway, which is probably why the deal didn't pass to begin with.
Something like that.
Yeah,
so, they're basically another corporate bailout, is what I've heard.
Basically, so whatever it is, we're getting fucked up.
You guys ain't. Yeah. BP ain't getting a bunch of fucking welfare money to buy back their stocks.
Right.
No.
Nothing is free. So don't get too happy about this shit,
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all these movies coming out, and it's gonna be an exciting thing. Can we move on to the next part of what I wanted to talk about earlier, Eli? In the when I said get your juices flowing.
What's up?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So, like I said, I've been because since we're on quarantine, a lot of people have been Netflix binging, Amazon Prime binging, and a lot of other people have been MCU binging. So pretty much every Marvel movie in the MCU has been trending on Twitter lately for some reason whatsoever. But one thing that did trend specifically was Iron Man 3, Thor 2, and Captain Marvel. The reason is because people arguing what was the worst Marvel movie that they came out with. And so I decided to talk about that because even as long as we've been doing this podcast, Eli, we've never actually talked about the worst MCU movies. We've always talked about the best, when we like the best, but we never talked about the worst. And I know this is right up your alley because I know you've been wanting to shit on Marvel ever since we started the podcast. So this will give you a chance.
Okay.
So did you get a chance to do your list, your top 5? Or worst 5?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay,
so I didn't like write them down or nothing, but I didn't write them down either.
We're freestyling. Yeah, we're gonna go. So we're gonna go back and forth. Top 5. You go, I go. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Let me look at my list real quick. I forgot. Okay, so I'll let you go first.
First, so we're going like least.
Right, least favorite.
So like number 1 would be the one we hate the most.
Right, the number 1 would be the one we hate the most. So the one we're naming now is the 5th most hated one we have.
All right, I'll go with the Hulk, number 5, Incredible Hulk.
That high or low? Okay. You want to give any?
Yeah, I mean, well, the only thing that saves it is because it had all those Easter eggs, and the ending. I mean, the ending is cool. The fight between Hulk and Abomination is cool and all that shit, but I really wasn't into it. And seeing Doc Samson and the leader in there and all that shit. Those little Easter eggs were, especially at the time, because it came out. This is before the Avengers got huge, but that was the second movie in the MCU technically.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, there's all these little things, and then Tony Stark is at the end, and like, that's kind of cool that there's this shared universe, and it was just a thing. It was just starting, and so that was like kind of cool at the time, but looking back, it's not that great of a movie. I and I'm a Hulk fan. I love the Hulk, so the fact that there was only the Easter eggs is the only thing that kept it from me hating it, basically.
Okay,
so,
interesting.
Yeah.
All right, my 5th. From not my worst, but my 5th worst, I'm gonna say Iron Man 3. I'm gonna say why it's not like the worst of the worst, because a lot of people are bashing the movie for one reason and one reason alone, because of the twist, because they didn't get the Mandarin. The Mandarin turned out to be some asshole in a suit. I get all that, but on a technical level, it was a good movie, and the fact that Robert Downey Jr. So
Iron Man 3 was that bad.
Yeah, plus the action scenes actually pretty inventive, pretty creative, especially when people got blown out of the plane, stuff like that, the Iron Lead, stuff like that. Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. So there was a lot of good things in that movie. People get mad over one thing about the plot twist, and I didn't even see a problem with the plot twist. I think people misunderstood what the plot twist was. The whole point was that at the beginning of the movie, Tony Stark specifically said, we create our own demons. That was the theme of the movie. So they were saying that in general, we always create our own demons. The Mandarin that Ben Kingsley was playing was a demon that what's-his-face asshole in a suit made. So we all create our own demons. We all want to point our fingers at the bad guy. Meanwhile, while we look at and point the finger at this guy, there's people behind the scenes getting away with all kind of other bullshit that we're not paying attention to, because we want to look at Bin Laden, we want to look at Gaddafi and all these mass murder stuff like that. Meanwhile, these big corporations fucking us over left and right. They just doing it right under our nose when they're paying attention to it. That's the point the movie's trying to make. The movie had a point to it. And the movie was even trying to say that, no, he was never the Mandarin. Whatever asshole in the suit was, Seth Killian. That's his name, Seth Killian. He was the real Mandarin. And I understood what he was trying to do. Like, you're looking in the wrong direction. The real Mandarin is not the guy that you're pointing at. It's the guy behind him. Now, the problem I had with that is that it was a whitewash role. Because if you're having a white dude play the Mandarin, it's whitewashing. So if you're gonna do that whole thing, stuff like that, I don't mind Ben Kingsley doing the things he's gonna do, but if you're gonna do that, make the guy Asian. You could have had the same role, made him Asian. But as you had it now, you had a whitewash man.
And their excuse for why they didn't cast an Asian is bullshit. Like, oh, we didn't want to have a stereotypical, cartoony Asian in this role. I was like, well, you didn't have to. You could have got an Asian to play him. Not like, what did you have? Were you gonna have him going ching chong and shit?
Right.
No, an Asian actor would not do that.
Right, just update the role. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to have, see my power. You don't have to do that in there. Just update the role. And if you'd have had Ben Kingsley playing the role, but had an Asian playing Seth Killian's role, then you would have updated the Mandarin's role, because Mandarin has done stuff like that. He's been a business tycoon in a 3-piece suit and shit like that, still beating the shit out of Iron Man, and you would have been right there, and people would have, and the fact that Killian was playing the real version of Mandarin would have flown over people's head. Because most people don't completely miss that, because he specifically says in the movie, "You're looking at me the whole time. I am the Mandarin." That is a direct quote. People completely miss that. Anyway, fifth worst movie. I went on too long about Iron Man 3. What's your 4?
My 4th, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What? Somebody, you know what? They kept popping. I kept seeing that reoccurring also. But give me some feedback on that.
I'm just not into the Ant-Man movies. I mean, I really don't give a shit about Ant-Man.
In my opinion, I always consider the Ant-Man's like the middle movies. Not the best, not the worst, but in the middle. But you're saying, no, they're not even middle. They're, boom, down here.
That's one. No, that was the second one I didn't see. Or wait, did I? Yeah, I think it was like, there's only 2 MCU movies I didn't see in the theater. Yeah. And that was one of them. That was one of the ones.
The movie sucked so bad you don't remember which one it was. Like, whichever one I didn't see, that piece of shit. That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and I mean, it's okay, and it's not like it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
And I'm just not into it. I just don't care. And he's not that cool of a character. To where
he never was.
He, like I said, he got applause over Spider-Man, and like, what the fuck, like, so yeah, I just not into it. It's just, I guess, it's a personal preference. I'm just not into the. I mean, it ain't even that funny. And I get, these are going to be the comedies, and I like go, that's about it all. It's not funny.
Yeah, but you're not alone.
It's amusing.
You're not alone, because I kept seeing that movie kept reoccurring also. So I was like, okay, there's something that Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it for what it was. It didn't blow my socks off. I was like, it's the middle ground. Number 4, okay, you need Ant-Man and Wasp. I'm gonna name Thor: The Dark World. Thor: The Dark World is not the worst Marvel movie to me. I felt like there was some fun to have in it. You had Tom Hiddleston, who I felt killed the role in that one. Even Chris Hemsworth had some good scenes in it to begin with. Yes, they had a complete shit villain. Action scenes were kind of meh. Natalie Portman, you can tell she does not want to be in these fucking movies. He completely checks out. The movie tried to be funny like Thor: Ragnarok, but completely missed the mark on it also. And the cinematography just looked lame. It looked like TV showish. That's what it looked like. But I still had fun with the movie. That's all. It was not the worst. If Thor: Dark World comes on right now, I'll watch it. And plus, Endgame actually hypes the movie up a little bit more because it's essential to the Endgame plot. So, all right, but I'll let you go for number 3.
I guess Ant-Man.
What the fuck, man? Did Paul Rudd like kill your dog or something?
Like I said,
it's just sister pregnant or some shit. I mean, what the fuck?
It's just not. They're not, like I said, they're not that bad. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, they're entertaining. They're totally serviceable.
Like, I feel like you get triggered anytime you see Paul Rudd on TV or some shit. He just has a punchable face.
I'm just not into it. There's just he's just a B character that I don't think he deserves his own movie. I mean, he just needs to do something. He just needs to to come out of the fucking quantum realm to tell people about time travel, and that's all you need him for. Or he needs to show up.
Hawkeye.
He needs to show up. Yeah, he just needs to show up and to pull the building off somebody, become Giant Man, and bring them out so other cooler heroes can kick ass. He's had some moments like.
Yeah, remind us not to do a full show about Ant-Man 3 when it comes out. Then I can see what your reaction.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve two of his own movies.
Right, I give this movie 2 middle fingers up.
Yeah, he's just a throwaway character who kind of helps out. He's like R2-D2. Yeah. R2 doesn't get his own movie. But they gave this motherfucker 2. They gave him 2 of his own movies.
Give him 3. He get another one.
Shit. Power Paul and all his best moments are in other people's movies, like Civil War. Getting shot off the arrow and then going into fucking Iron Man suit and fucking with Iron Man. I mean that
he works in spurts.
That's all his him. Yeah. Him becoming a baby or whatever and all that shit, in Endgame.
Yeah.
His best moments in other people's movies. His movies are just I understand why he's there, but I'm just like,
they have to fill out the roster.
His movies are okay. Yeah.
Okay. So wow.
So
Paul Rudd fan club. Okay.
I don't hate them.
Just Paul Rudd.
I don't hate them. I just don't.
Him specifically.
I just don't give a shit. No, I love Paul Rudd. Shit, I just watched 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh yeah, he wasn't it. I watched Dinner with Schmucks the other day. That was a pretty good one, also.
I watched that not too long ago.
Steve Carell's in there too.
Yeah. And Role Models.
He was. Role Models was a great movie. I don't know why that movie didn't get bigger than what it was, but so yeah, we don't. I love that movie. Paul.
Yeah,
Clueless. He was also Clueless.
Oh damn! Yeah, way back.
That's way back, and he looks the exact fucking same then as he looked in Ant-Man. He's a vampire. Okay, number 3. My number 3, and I almost pushed this higher up on the list. Captain Marvel. I really hated that fucking movie. I really did, and it's not because I'm a comics gator. I'm on my way, but I'm not there yet. But yeah, I hated fucking movie. The only reason it's not lower on the list because she did give me that Superman battle in space at the very end. She's blowing up shit like that. So I at least
that was cool.
That was good. When I watched the movie again, I just fast forwarded the part and just be done with it. And that's it. Rest of the movie, I do not give a shit about anything that happened in the movie. I really don't. It's not engaging to me at all. Brie Larson just kind of just there. She's just like a blank slate. She's like that chick in Twilight, where she's just staring into space, like you just soulless when you look in her eyes and shit. Maybe she's a good actress in other movies. And Captain Marvel, she just sucks. I don't know. Samuel Jackson is cool, but he's not enough to save that movie. If he was in the movie, it would be the worst out of this one. But that's me. Yeah.
Well, the reason why he lost his eyes because of the cat, that was dumb.
I'm not even knocking points for that. It's just that the cat just in general was just dumb to begin with. Like it just came up for no reason. Like, oh, a cat on a spaceship. Okay. Let's take it with us. So, and like at the end when she was getting a fist fight with the other Kree soldiers and they're playing I'm Just a Girl. You said you hated that.
Yeah, that sucked.
And now I can't unhear.
Yeah, that did suck.
Yeah. So now it completely killed that fight scene. Yeah. I'm just like, man.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it did. The soundtrack.
I understand you're trying to make a feminism, statement, but it's better songs you could have played. Thematically wise.
Yeah, there's way better songs,
right,
from the '90s and shit. That whole Riot Girl movement, that was going on at the time. There's so many fucking girl punk bands that they could have used.
And notice that the movies we're naming are
from song. Yeah,
right. And notice that the further we go down, the movies we're naming are from shit directors. Like we don't even know who directed Captain Marvel. We don't know who directed Thor 2. They're just shit movies, just like whatever. So, all right, what's number 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
What am I at? Oh, see, I've only seen Captain Marvel the one time in the theater. I haven't seen it since. I remember enjoying it in the, when I did see it.
Okay.
But I thought it was all right. I mean, especially when she did the Superman shit at the end. I thought that was cool. I didn't mind it. I mean, I didn't think it was great, but I didn't like hate it or anything, and so I guess I don't care enough about it to hate it. I guess that's
But
why it's
Paul
not on my
Rudd, you
list.
do.
I suppose I could have put it on my list. But yeah, I just didn't care. I just don't really give a shit about Ant-Man. But I guess my number two would be Thor: The Dark World.
Oh, wow, it's high up on the list.
You
Okay.
know, just because, yeah, and that was probably because, and that was another one I didn't see in the theater. Because like I said, I thought they peaked with Avengers. The MCU peaked, and then you had Iron Man 3, or what came out? Was it Iron Man 3
It was
that
Iron
came
Man
out
3,
first
yep, and
after
then Thor:
Avengers?
Dark World, yeah.
And, th- and then Thor: Dark World. So I saw Iron Man 3, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool, but I thought, okay, it's all down here from here. You know what I mean? They're not gonna. There's no way they're gonna top Avengers, the Avengers movie. So when I saw Iron Man 3, I'm like, it's okay. And so by the time Thor 2 came out, first of all, I didn't give a shit about Thor, and second of all, I was like, well, I ain't gonna blow money on seeing a mediocre movie, and these movies aren't gonna, be that great anyway. So I did not see Thor: The Dark World in the theater, you know. And then lo and behold, like the next one was fucking
Guardians of the
Winter
Galaxy.
Soldier,
Oh yeah,
and then Guardians of the Galaxy.
and it was
They're like, oh
like a month
yeah, then
between
like
each other,
okay,
some shit.
now the
Yeah.
MCU's back. Yeah, so then the MCU was like, damn, they're still making good movies. But the Thor: The Dark World, I just didn't care, and just it's a whatever movie about whatever.
I'm still mad at
I
Al
think I only
Gross Man
watched it
Steel.
one time.
I'm still mad at Al Gross Man Steel.
Did it? I just didn't. Yeah, I'm not a Thor fan. I didn't care. I don't remember much of it, and yeah, that's so. It's just a forgettable movie for me. I don't really care. So.
Yeah. At least it's lower than Ant-Man. So okay. Number
It is
two.
lower than that.
Number two. My second least favorite is Thor, the first one. That was a bad movie, man.
Okay.
I don't care what anybody says it's a bad movie. I think people give it a pass because it could have been worse. You were making a movie about a magic space Viking with a magic hammer. So it could have been way worse than what it was. But as just a movie, it's pretty bad. It was just like why? Because most of the time he was just on Earth, no powers, just palling around with Natalie Portman, who, like I said, does not want to be there. With Kat Dennings, who just why is she there? And they were just road tripping, just the whole time, not doing shit. Then they just passing time. End of the movie, they go back to Asgard and they fight again, and that's the movie. That's it. It was Masters of the Universe remake. That's all it was. So I'm like, why should I get that movie a pass? It was just like, it's cool. Just watch it so we can move on and just get to the Avengers just to explain who this guy is. But than that, it was not a good movie. Like, I recommend watch the movie again, or I recommend not watch the movie again, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'll let you. So what's your number one?
Well, no, man, I disagree.
What? Okay.
Yes, I actually liked the first Thor movie.
Really? That was like really low.
I do.
That was like really low.
I
on the
really
list.
actually don't mind it. First of all, again, I'm not a Thor fan, so and this is still before the MCU got really serious. You could still see that they were having fun. It's a comic book movie. We're gonna have fun with it, and and I still remember it being such a breath of fresh air after the Nolan trilogy. Because after the Nolan trilogy came out, then all of a sudden everybody had to be dark and brooding and all that shit. And here came Iron Man, then Thor, and like, hey, they're having fun. Comic book heroes are kind of fun now, and I thought it was funny. It made me laugh, and I actually watched it not too long ago, and I still enjoyed it. And what Loki is who steals that movie, and
Really?
he's the
Honestly,
one
because the
that
Loki didn't
makes
like
that
click for
movie.
me till Avengers. I thought he was just whatever in Thor. To be honest with you.
Well,
He wasn't a scene stealer.
I still say one of the best scenes in all the MCU movies is when Loki confronts Odin
You know? Oh no, it's not
about
that
his
scene.
lineage.
Oh yeah, when he holds the thing and
Yeah,
he turns blue and shit. Yeah. Okay. Good scene. I give you
yeah,
that.
and
Good
he's
scene.
like, yeah, that's pure Shakespeare. He's like, now I know why you favored Thor, because you would never have a frost giant on the throne of Asgard. I mean, that's like, damn, you know.
Some good acting scene.
that,
I mean, Anthony
that was,
Hopkins, is gonna kill it. So
yeah. I mean, that just because of that, Loki elevates that movie, and that scene. That was the first inklings of wow, they're really humanizing these characters, you know. And that's what Marvel has continued to still continues to do well, is making you give a shit about the characters. Yeah, Loki stole that movie from me. Thor, yeah, it gets a little hammy when he gets down to Earth and he gets hit by the car, and it's funny, and he's throwing the fucking coffee mug
Yeah,
on the
asking for a
ground and
horse in the
shit.
pet shop.
You
Yeah.
know, but like I mean, it's tragic when he doesn't, when he's not been, when he finds Mjolnir in the Shield base
Mm-hmm.
and he thinks he's gonna pick it up and he doesn't. He's like, oh my god, I've been like, my father forsaken me,
Right,
and
but he just
I
looks in the
really got to
sky,
look
so
at
it
who
could
the
be a
fuck I am.
metaphor for looking at God. Why is God abandoning me? Yeah,
Yeah.
I get all that.
Why have you forsaken me? I mean, it was like so much deep layers into it, so yeah, I liked Thor.
Nope, still there. You know what? Hawkeye's in the movie and
It
nobody
didn't
even
make my
cares.
it didn't make my list. Thor didn't make my list. Thor 2 did, but
Just say it, like Thor. I'd rather sit through Dark World than the first Thor. Like that is definitely a worse movie than Dark World. At least Dark World is some
what?
fun
I should
parts in
probably
it.
watch Dark World again.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not as bad as I remember, but I still remember it being pretty bad.
Just it. All right, and number one, what is
Don't both of our list.
So the worst Marvel movie?
Mine, for me,
Yep.
Iron Man 2.
What?
I did not like that movie at all.
Oh.
And whenever I tried rewatching it multiple times, I was like, I still don't care. Sure, seeing Black Widow running around in her fucking stripper suit is cool, but I didn't care. Like, the thing is, Iron Man, the first Iron Man was so fucking awesome. And the second one just wasn't. And it was such a disappointment. I remember seeing it in the theater and just like so excited and like, damn, this movie kind of sucked. And I still think it kind of. So I try watching it over, and I'm just like, I don't care.
I agree. It's
Yeah.
not Iron Man 1. It's not. But I think if we didn't compare to Iron Man 1, it still has some good parts in that movie to begin with. Justin Hammer's still a fun part in it. Robert Downey Jr. still Robert Downey Jr. up. So I'm still loving that when he's all over the scene. Yeah. Don Cheadle is better than Terrence Howard. I'm sorry, as Roy Machine or as Rhodey. He brought more to the role. He actually looked like the military.
Fine, the ending battle cool and shit.
Now there was some lulls in there also, but overall I can deal with it. Like I said, not the best movie. It's not Marvel's shining, pyramid and thing like that. But the worst movie, worse than Ant-Man? I don't know, Eli.
I straight up don't like Iron Man 2.
The worst movie. Okay.
That's one I hate. I remember coming out of the theater like, fuck that. Like, I almost didn't see Captain America or whatever came out afterwards.
Yeah.
Because of that. Until someone said, no, it's really good. You should go see it.
Hell, I think
Thor
really? Came after that.
Okay. Whatever came out afterwards, they're like, yeah, you should go check it out. Because I remember not even wanting to see Thor.
Yeah.
Like,
so Thor was your palate cleanser? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, wow, that was kind of fun. And then Captain America came out and they're like, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm like, oh, no shit. Okay, well, I kind of like, yeah. All right, I'll check out the Avengers. You're going to make the Avengers, right? Yeah, I'll check that out. I remember that time, the old days. Damn, I'm old.
Way back in 2012.
Yeah.
All right. So my number one or least favorite comic book, Marvel movie is, without a doubt, by far, without question, The Incredible Hulk. I don't understand how anybody has a different opinion than that. It is easily the worst Marvel movie. Matter of fact, I think it's the closest because I know you saying all these movies sucked on your list. Me personally, I don't think Marvel has made a bad movie, but the closest they've made to a bad movie is Incredible Hulk. It feels like those 2000s movies. I think it's only slightly better than the Ang Lee movie, if that. To be honest with you, because I didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that it isn't. It isn't that good. It's not, and like I said, the only reason it's so higher on my list is because of the Easter eggs, of the little the comic book references. And
Super Soldier
Serum, as a comic book fan. Ooh, that's the leader. Ooh, that's Doc Samson. Ooh, you know what I mean? Yeah, Abomination, and that's kind of cool. And But yeah, other than that, I'm a Hulk fan, and I didn't like it.
Right. It's just like I didn't know what the movie was trying to do. I don't think the movie knew what it was trying to do. It was just like paint by numbers. Let's play it safe. Let's not go too deep to the psyche of Hulk because we did that shit with the Ang Lee movie. People hated that, so let's just play straightforward. I will say this: The Abomination was fun. Matter of fact, what wasn't Tim Roth?
Yeah.
In general, he was just fun. Like even when he was just regular, he was just like a interesting character. Then we came to Abomination. Now the Abomination versus Hulk fight is one of my favorite fights in any comic book movie. Even though it's just big CG monster fight, still fun. But I hated the design of Hulk. I didn't like Ed Norton as Hulk. I didn't like what's her face's Betty Banner. Thunderbolt was awesome. I like Thunderbolt, but the plot kind of just was going about itself. You can tell they really didn't know how to make these movies first. They were just these are when they were cutting their teeth in the movie. Incredible Hulk, Thor, Iron Man 2. Now, I guess at the time, Iron Man, like the first Iron Man, was a fluke. Like there's no way that movie should have came out as good as it did because every movie that came after that was kind of rocky. So that period is when Marvel made their worst movies. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Iron Man, the first Iron Man, I mean, it had a lot of to say. There was like a lot of social and political commentary behind the first Iron Man, and then they kind of just not until like you had Thor and like Captain America, and those movies were made by top tier directors, Kenneth Branagh and Joe Johnston.
Yep, Rocketeer.
The first Captain America. Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, it's just like they were like better caliber movies, and it's just like the first that Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, like it had all this, like you could just tell like they pumped all this money into it, but it just didn't. Yeah, it's hard to strike that balance of how do you make a Hulk movie without turning it into making him an emo sad sack
like they did before, right?
And that's like they did before, like they did in Ang Lee's, and then this one they try to walk the line, but still it's he's in Brazil because they could have did so much in Brazil, and I mean they were in the favela, they had this awesome location, and they didn't really do anything, and then they have a helicopter fight on a college campus, like really,
right? Then you really can't do anything, and just like. I don't know. It's like I said, another shit director we don't know about. So, I don't know. They didn't know what to do. And what's funny? I think that Marvel was expecting the Hulk to be the bigger movie than Iron Man. That's why they had those Easter eggs in there, like the Leader and Captain America, Super Soldier, and S.H.I.E.L.D. in the background, stuff like that. Meanwhile, when you watch Iron Man, there really were no Easter eggs in Iron Man. So I think they were banking, and I think that's why Iron Man came out before the Incredible Hulk, because they were thinking like, okay, Iron Man's going to be this movie, but we really put all the chips on the table in the Hulk, because there was actually a deleted scene with Captain America, but like when you watch the Blu-ray, it's there, man. The scene we talking about, I put a bullet in my mouth and spit it out. That scene is in there, and that's actually the scene where he turns to the Hulk. Really? Yeah, he smashes the ice because he's in like the Arctic or something like that. He smashed the ice, and when the ice breaks, you can see Captain America's, body coming away from it. They're trying to explain that, but they cut that scene from it. So they were explaining all the Easter eggs in in Incredible Hulk, but it didn't hit like Iron Man did. Iron Man was the breakout hit. So, who knows? It happens. So yeah, that's it. I'm glad we finally got that out of our system. We all talk about the best movies, talk about the worst movies. I did not know you hated Paul Rudd that much, but hopefully he doesn't listen to this podcast.
I don't hate Paul Rudd. I just don't like Ant-Man movies.
Oh, man. Can we talk about comics now? Well, the behind-the-scenes stuff of the
Sure.
comics? Yeah. This stuff we don't do. This is
Sure.
stuff we stay away from. But this is kind of like actually a big deal that I think we need to address, because I think we're going to have it maybe.
We're not reviewing shit. Okay.
Eventually. We'll get there.
I know what you're talking.
Normal listeners, don't cut it off just yet. This is interesting before we get to the comic book podcast. We usually cut the shit off, But this is interesting. So, like I said, with all this coronavirus shit going on right there, businesses, brick and mortar stores are feeling the effects right now, especially every local comic book store on the market right now, because they can't get their books. So what's happening right now, the guy's name is Steve Geppi. Steve Geppi is the head of Diamond Distribution. Now, the thing is with comics, they don't have a lot of distribution centers. They have one, and it's Diamond Distribution, and it's a monopoly. So they are solely responsible for shipping every single comic to every single local comic book store. And if they stop doing it, there are no comics going to comic stores. That's just period. Just stop. That's it. And because of the coronavirus, that's what they did. They stopped shipping. So at least for this week, there are no new comics coming to any local comic store. So you can't find a printed comic book anywhere. People are freaking out. People are saying, oh, what's going to happen? When am I going to get any new comics? What am I going to do? Well, Eli, we know what to do. We don't have these problems. Mm-hmm. We're just going to go on Comixology and just go digital. Because now, do you think that's kind of fucked up?
That's what I had to do.
I mean, yeah, because we're kind of forced to. Like I said, you have comic shops in your area, but you know it's kind of hard to. So digital, you just a click away from getting the new books. So here's the thing: do you think, out of respect for Diamond stopping distribution to local comic stores, should Marvel and DC and everybody else not publish digital next week? I mean, out of respect or out of whatever, or should they push it and go forward with the digital?
Not publish digital?
Not publish, but push it. I mean, whatever you call digital, like don't put the digital books out.
That's stupid. What are we going to read next week?
Well, that's the thing, because
is that what they're saying?
That's what some people are saying. That's some people saying because there are no physical books coming out next week, and a lot of comic book fans, because they're still stuck in the '90s, shit like that. They're still scared to go digital, even though every single medium is going digital. Music's going digital. Movies going digital. But comic books, they still feel like they can't go digital. They still feel like, Red Hood and the Outlaws number 15 is going to be worth more than 15 cents 5 years down the road, which it won't be. It's going to lose value over there, because the ugly truth is that the paper that these comics are printed on isn't worth a damn, and it loses money as it further goes along. So yeah, you can collect these books, but if you're collecting it for monetary value, you're wasting your fucking time. There is no money in it. Even thinking that shit is what killed comics in the 90s. So people are still scared to go the digital route, even though it's just a click away from just having a book in your hand or on your computer or on your tablet or anything like that right now. So a lot of the comic book fans are saying that they should not put out the digital books next week, because that'll be the only way you'll be able to get the comics. They feel like they should be, stand in solidarity or some shit like that. I'm like, no, fuck that. Put the books out right now. All you guys are doing are delaying the inevitable. Yes, we understand that local comic book shops
and then not giving money to the creators, because you have to buy shit off of Comixology.
Right.
I mean,
right. You have to buy shit. Yeah.
We pay for those.
Right.
Yeah. So you could they could not get a damn dime or put it out and let us read some shit.
Right. Because we got to say, because everything else is shut down. You can't go to the movies. You can't go to the clubs. So shit. Why not? Read a digital comic. I know a lot of you comic fans are scared to make that jump. It's time. I mean, we understand comic book shops are hurting. But I'm gonna just say the ugly truth. The writing's on the wall. I mean, most comic book shops don't put all the eggs in the one basket of comic books anyway. Most of them do other shit. They sell vinyl collections. They sell toys. They sell Funko Pops, or Magic the Gathering cards and shit like that. Video games. They put their sell all.
They're gaming stores. They have gaming tournaments and shit. Right. Most comic stores are like that now.
Hell, mine down the street does concerts, talent shows and shit like that. Anything to get people in the store.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the writings on the wall. You just can't do shit just for the comic book. I mean, just for the comic book fans, because they don't buy enough of it, and plus they're having a hard time of getting the younger fans into this shit, because what do? They want to play video games. They want to watch anime and shit like that. They don't give a fuck what's going on with New Warriors, with Safe Space and Screenshot and whoever the fuck else out there, which we will talk about on another episode. Not this one. So, because that's a whole nother topic right there. So that's my thing right there. So, I mean, the writing on the wall, Corona is going to claim a lot of casualties. The comic book industry is going to be one of them. Because a lot of stores that can't close right now because they're barely hanging on for the. Every brick and mortar store right now is hanging on by a thread right now. That's why they have a hard time closing. And comic stores are not immune to it. So we need to embrace the future. You guys, next week, if you want to know what's happening next comic book, go digital, because I'm going to post all this shit online and spoil everything if you don't. Call me an asshole. I don't care. Let me see if we can move on to the video game section.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, let's move on to the video game section. Speaking of brick and mortar, let's talk about your favorite store, Eli. GameStop.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
because I knew you love going there. So yeah, so okay, so I'm gonna pull up something right now before I get started. Essential store. Yeah, so the government hasn't shut down every single business out there right now. There are some brick and mortar stores that have been still open. Of course, they call them essential stores. So grocery stores are still open, gas stations are still open, hardware stores, not restaurants are not open on the inside, but you still do the drive-throughs like that. Other stores, I don't have the information in front of me right now, but like medical supplies and like that. But however, GameStop has declared themselves as an essential store also. So just like we need bread and water, they saying we need Animal Crossing on Nintendo Switch. It's essential.
Overpriced video games.
Yeah, it's essential to your way of life. So GameStop has said they're not closing during this pandemic. Even though they don't clean their stores, everything is dusty in there. They have their customers. Gamers don't bathe, I guess. So they're gonna have stink with them when they come in there anyway. So it's a very unhygienic place to begin with anyway. And they said they're not gonna close because apparently Call of Duty is just important as toilet paper and bread and things like that. So some places, there have been people that have taken steps to stop GameStop from doing this bullshit they're doing. Some employees have boycotted, and GameStop said if you don't show up to work, you will be fired. The government has actually shut down them in certain places, stuff like that. Even I think in Philadelphia, they revoked their license, some shit like you just can't sell. They made them shut down. So eventually, GameStop took it to a step further, where they eventually were forced to close all their stores. Now, they didn't close their stores. What they did is they closed the inside of the store. They are letting employees off. Now, whether or not they're paying employees, I don't know. Hopefully they are. They're only letting the managers work. You pretty much have to get your games curbside. Now, you want to talk about a shit company? That's GameStop. That's a company I'll be glad when they go under, because they're completely wrong in everything they're doing. They're price gouging. They don't give you money for your stuff. They will sell you new product that's really used. They do all kind of fucked up shit. They probably pressure the membership. They're shitty to their employees. So that's a place to go under, because basically when these new systems come out, people are embracing digital in video games. Not like comics where these 40-year-olds are stuck in the 90s. No, video games are embracing the new millennium. They're embracing the new technology. So GameStop can't do this bullshit. And the thing is, like I said, just talk about the comic book situation where, there will be casualties with Corona. GameStop will be one of those casualties with Corona, because they are barely, staying above water right now. And if they have to close for 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, that's going to put them under. It just is. So we're going to be living in a new, different world when the coronavirus is over with. Don't worry, we'll make it through this. You don't have to buy your Mad Max gear just yet. We'll make it through this. But this will be a changed world. 20, 30, 50 years down the road, we will remember this happening. Not because of the actual virus, but because of the economic fallout that happened from it. Especially if the government doesn't bail us out, which they know you're sitting on that money but don't want to give us.
We're gonna find out that most of these most everybody can work at fucking home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What did they say?
We're finding out that
necessity is the mother of invention.
All you motherfuckers are making all that money sitting in front of a fucking computer. You're useless.
And you know what's fucked up is that they've been saying that for the longest. Like people saying, like, why can't I just do this shit from home? Now all of a sudden they're saying, just do it from home.
Yeah.
Really fucked up, man.
Well, then companies, they don't have that overhead of having people working in an office. They can save money. Yeah, you can just work from home.
Exactly.
That saves the company money. They can reevaluate all this shit, man.
Hell, Amazon is hiring right now.
Delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and start paying groceries and people who are keeping society together. Society up and running, pay those motherfuckers 6 figures a year.
Right, because as of right now, those are the people running the country. The country will fall apart without, those people making minimum wage.
Yeah, all these service jobs that everyone looked down upon, barely making, overworked and underpaid.
Right.
They're the ones keeping everything together.
Right.
So
fucked up. All right. Yeah. Now, can we actually talk about the comic books now?
Sure.
Hopefully, everybody's still with us. But now we're going to actually talk about, because it's the Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books. I'm going to talk about the new comic books that came out this week. Guess what, Eli? I am not doing any X-Men this week. I'll do them.
Oh, shit.
next week if we still have books coming out this week. But what I will
No
do,
X-Minute?
no X-Minute, not this week. Go listen to Comic Cast. They'll do the X-Men all the time. That's Gomer's thing now. What we're gonna do is talk about Batman number 91. Yep. And okay, so we're talking about Batman 91, and basically how the book starts off is that Harley Quinn has sick bat drones because Batman has gave her control of his drone, and she's hunting down Deathstroke. Deathstroke is getting away from him, but Deathstroke is actually doing a pretty good job of dodging the drones and like that, and he's shooting them and killing the drones, stuff like that. So Batman's just like, you know what, tell her to get back. I'm gonna go take care of Slade myself. So he flies the bat plane in front of Slade. Slade, you're done. I caught you. Deathstroke's not backing down. Jumps on top of the bat plane. Tries to stab Batman with it. The Batman just takes him to the sky, shit like that. Now, the reason Batman is doing this because he's finally realized who the designer is, what the designer is, and the designer has him figured out to a T. Because Batman has realized one thing. He's been doing this for so long, he's starting to become predictable. People are starting to realize his patterns, and it's exactly what the designer has done. So if he wants to beat the designer, he has to switch up his pattern. He has to do something different. So he takes Slade all the way to the sky in his bat plane, and he steps outside the bat plane. Slade thinking like, okay, you ready to fight? You ready to do this? And Batman's like, no, I'm not going to fight you, Slade. Look, you know me. You know why I've done this. You know my secret identity. You know that my parents died in the alley. And I've become Batman because I wanted to stop muggers that was killing people like in the alley. But at the same time, guys like you keep upping the ante. I stop a mugger, guys like you come at me. I have to get more firepower. You get more firepower. It just keeps escalating to a point that it's destroying the city. The city doesn't even trust me anymore because they were happy when Bane took over the city. And Slade like, okay, I hear your sob story. What do you want me to do? And Batman's like, I want you to back the fuck off. Let me save the city. Let me help the people out because they don't trust me anymore. And I can't do my job with assholes like you running all over the place. And Deathstroke's like, well, why do you think I care? Because I know you, Slade. Like, you know me, I know you. You care. You're like, what the fuck I don't? And then he starts fighting him again. Batman, like, okay, you're not listening. He grabs him, throws him off with each other. They both fall off the bat plane to the ground. And they're having like real ass long conversation while they're hitting the ground and shit like that. And he just like, where's the designer? Tell me the designer before we hit the ground. Slade's like, I don't know. Stop bullshitting, Batman. You're not going to kill me. Throw your batarang out, your grappling hook. So right before we hit the ground, he's like, okay. They throws the batarang out. Throw the grappling hook out. They hit the ground. As soon as they hit the ground, they're getting ready to fight again. Like Deathstroke, all right, let's finish this. Before we can finish this, on the big screen, they see the designer. He's right there in front of them. And designer is telling Deathstroke, Deathstroke, it's okay. You've played your part in the role. Your contract is terminated. And Deathstroke like, okay, what the fuck that means? Then they turn around and they see designer's henchmen. It's the base of the GCPD, but they're all jokerized, like zombies and shit like that coming at them. And Deathstroke's like, uh-oh, we got company. And Batman's like, we? Yeah, what do you think terminate your contract means? They're coming after me too. So Batman and Deathstroke have to team up to fight off, the designer's henchmen and shit like that. And Batman's like pissed. He's like, designer, show yourself. Stop playing these games. Come for me. Before he can do that, the guy standing behind designer on the big screen is the Riddler. And the Riddler's like, oh, no, Batman. Not until I had my fun first. And the book ends. And some other shit happens. Harley Quinn shows up to sell books. Whatever. That's pretty much the book. Overall, I give it a 4.5 out of 5 that Batman's actually trying to do something different than we normally do. Normally, he would just fight Slade and that's it. But Slade is an anti-hero. He's not like a villain like the rest of these guys are. So he probably could talk Slade down. So even though Slade's not going to listen. But yeah, that's what I give it. You read the book. You like what you think about it?
No, I liked it. It was cool. There was really those moments of Batman and Deathstroke kind of like sort of almost teaming up. Mm-hmm. The beginning with the Joker telling his version of meeting the designer, how all the criminals went and met the designer to
and we know what he said,
where he asked them what they wanted. Yeah, where he wanted to asked each of them what was their ultimate job they wanted to pull off, and the Joker's like, I want to be the devil, and I killed the devil or whatever. I thought that was pretty.
Because he realized what he was doing. He was like, if you give them everything they want, then it's going to put everybody in a way that you can take over the city. No, I want to be that guy. And that makes sense why the designer would try to kill him. He's like, I can't let you be me. So.
Yeah.
Cool shit.
Yeah, and Catwoman and Harley teaming up and fighting the Joker zombie cops.
Yeah,
I thought, yeah, I mean, this is cool. I'm digging this. I'm digging the new Batman book.
and the Joker
So
War is coming.
yeah, I
So
think
yeah.
it's yeah. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
So are you doing Unkillables?
I do Unkillables. You got a bunch of other books, so you can do those books, and I do Unkillables.
Okay. Well, the only other I didn't. Well, I'm just gonna hit Marvel then. What Marvel book? Oh shit! I only read one Marvel book. So Star Wars #4, Charles Soule. This is just them on Cloud City. Luke, Leia, Lando. They went back to Cloud City to get Luke's lightsaber, and Lando had some business to attend to as well. He gets, of course, Cloud City's all under Empire control now. Lando finds a Lobot and has him hook into the computer systems and has them like flushing out this gas. So it's like in sort of kind of a poisoning the city, basically pouring out this gas amongst the city. Leia had been captured last issue. She got captured by Vader, and she's in carbonite now. So I should have started with that. That's what's been happening. Leia's captured in carbonite. She's being dropped off by they're shipping all these prisoners. All these like rebel prisoners are in this like hangar, getting ready to be shipped off to wherever, to the Empire base, and they're all in carbonite. And then Luke, he's in like the trash compactor looking for his lightsaber, and he can't find it. There's a bunch of Ugnaughts in there, and he ends up like using the Force to like guide him and try to find his lightsaber. And he ends up having visions about like that, like I think the Octo planet and some Jedi chick in a robe or something. He has some visions. And then he also has a vision of Leia. Leia's trapped. He's like, oh shit, I better go save Leia. So he teams back up with Lando and Lobot, and they go to that hangar where they're keeping all the prisoners in carbonite, and he like uses the Force and like releases them all from the carbonite. So all the prisoners get out. They're unfrozen. They all come out of their carbonite things, and then the stormtroopers come, and Luke basically like Force grabs all their guns and puts them into the rebels' hands, and then they all shoot the stormtroopers and shit. And then he ends up leaving. He's like, yeah, I didn't find my lightsaber, but you know what? A Jedi is more than just a lightsaber, blah, 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 blah. And then they end up taking off, but then it shows an Ugnaught in the trash compactor finds his lightsaber. And so that's kind of about it. I don't know. I thought it was a little anticlimactic. And I don't know. Here's my thing.
Okay.
It's like they're trying to get, they're making this big deal about the lightsaber. Like, where did Luke's lightsaber go? That's like been a big thing ever since The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
When
even they didn't explain
and his lightsaber was in Maz Kanata's basement or whatever, and Rey finds it and all that shit. Like, where was it? It fell in Cloud City. So they're trying to explain his thing about where his lightsaber went. And it's like, it was just in the garbage. It's like, that's all.
it. That's
So it's like they're making this. Yeah. And it's like they're making this, this big point, writing these stories to fill in all these gaps about all these stupid plot holes from all the fucking movies. Like that was another thing. X-Wing. This is how this comic explained how Luke got his X-Wing back from Cloud City, because apparently that got on people's nerves. How did Luke get his X-Wing back when he left it on Cloud City? Blah, 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 blah. Well, this fucking comic explains that. So now all is forgiven now. And it's like, really? Is that
yes.
Yeah, is that all these comics are? We're just, I don't need to be filled in on every little detail of their life. It's just stretching it too damn thin.
That's what these, like, not just the comic books, but just pretty much any, source material outside of the movies have been doing, just filling the blanks in every little thing. Because there's nothing in the first trilogy, the first 3 movies, that has not been over-explained, picked apart, or dissected in there in some other source material. That's,
Yeah, I mean, we're just going over familiar territory again. Like, I've been there, done that 30 years ago. And then that's no longer canon. And now here we are rewriting the same fucking story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to know about every waking moment of these characters' lives. Like, in next issue, Luke takes a shit. Like, who fucking cares? It's like, it's been told multiple times. There's multiple canons, and I think I'm just kind of done with this book, anyways. I just don't like. I don't care. Like, give me something else. I've already seen what happened to Luke between these two movies, in two different canon timelines. So I don't need to be told the definitive version this decade. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just don't care. When they're just going to change it, who knows when.
Right.
In another generation,
like
they're going to rewrite all the shit.
That
again.
never happened. Let's rewrite this. Let's do it again.
Yeah, that's no longer canon. It's like, I don't care. I think I might. This is probably the last Star Wars like this run. Mm-hmm. I'm still reading the Vader. I'm still reading the Bounty Hunters and shit. But I think I'm done with this one for now. Until they give me something else.
Right, like really a whole new thing or something.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they don't go into like they keep going into detail about the old trilogy. Why don't they do that with the Skywalker trilogy, like the new trilogy now? You want to go into detail and pick apart and dissect shit? Do that shit. That won't piss anybody off because over-explain that shit if you want to. Let's go into deep into Rey's backstory, which they really haven't touched.
Yeah. We don't
Poe
know.
Dameron or
I don't.
Finn. Like you said, we knew that Finn had we could do some Stormtrooper comics with him where he was training with those guys and that traitor, because apparently that traitor dude that yelled that shit, they're supposed to have known each other. Give us a book about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's so many things they could do, but they keep going to the same well over and over again. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I've heard this all before. I've heard it like you've already told the story multiple times. And now, now you're doing it again. I'm like, I don't care. So 3 out of 5. I mean, the moment where Luke took all the guns from the stormtroopers and force pushed them in all the other people's hands, that was kind of cool. But other than that, I was just like, really? His lightsaber was just in the garbage? Okay. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Oh, well.
So, yeah.
All right. So the book I'm going to do now is Unkillables #2. Okay, so like I said, this is a spin-off book adjacent to DCeased, Tom Taylor's DCeased, which he also wrote this book, also the second issue. So apparently how the book starts off is that we're in Bloodhaven with Jim Gordon, Jason Todd, and Cassandra Cain, who's now Batgirl, stuff like that. And they're protecting the orphanage of Bloodhaven, and they have like about 43... no, not 43, but they have a whole bunch of like zombies and shit like they're supposed to kill them. They have them locked behind a whole door or closet like that. And Jim is like, what you want me to do? You want me to kill them? Nah, but you're going to leave them back there until they're safe, stuff like that. But while they're arguing stuff like that, Lady Shiva teleports with Mirror Master through the mirror to come to Bloodhaven, to that orphanage, because she wants to bring Cassandra Cain back with her to, what's the old dude's name? Vandal Savage Base, take him back to Vandal Savage Base. She's like, look, you come with me no matter what. Mm-hmm. If I have to knock your ass out and bring your unconscious body with me, you're still coming. They fight. Jason Todd comes in. She kicks his ass also. Gordon pulls a gun on her, like, okay, calm this shit down, otherwise. So she like, Cassandra, are you coming with me or not? Because if you don't come with me, this is it. I'm not going to ask you again. And if I see you again, it's going to be a problem. She's like, mother, I'm not coming. I'm like, okay. So they go back to Pyramids Bay, which is Vandal Savage Base, and wherever the fuck it is. Tensions are high. They got a whole bunch of assassins and mercenaries on one single island. Vandal Savage talks to Slade, like, Slade, why don't you come with me and let's have a conversation while they're bickering, stuff like that. When he goes there, he sees Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy punched the shit out of him, straps him to a table, and he's like, what the fuck you doing? He was like, for you and the Creeper are both immune to the zombie virus. So basically, we're going to dissect all your organs and find out what the hell is going on so we can make a cure for everybody. While they're doing that, Slade's daughter, Rose Ravagers comes in, stabs Vandal Savage back because she has the power to see the future. So she knew this shit was about to happen. And she was like, you know what? I would kill you right now, but I want to spoil the surprise. She was like, wait, what are you talking about? Oh, you'll see. And then as soon as she says that, a zombie Wonder Woman breaks through the wall and rips Vandal Savage in half. Not like by his midsection, by like the top of his skull. And be like, how do you even do that? Anyway, Wonder Woman. She does that. Beats the shit out of Solomon Grundy. The other mercenaries and shit like try to hold her off, but nobody can do anything except Captain Cole. Captain Cole does his freeze shit. He like, I can hold her for a little bit of time. You guys take Mirror Master, get the fuck out of here, mirror hop this shit. And when you're done, come back and get me because I'm not going to hold off Wonder Woman for very long. So they all hop through the mirror and shit like that. And when they all hop through, they hop back into the Bloodhaven morph and shit like that. And they're talking about, what about Captain Cole? You going back and get him? And Slade is just like, don't even bother. He's already dead. Like, damn. Okay. No, actually, Mirror Master does drop him off. Mirror Master hops back over to go get Captain Cole and never comes back. They're just like, yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
Don't worry about him. Yeah. So they're just stuck there. They're just stuck in Bloodhaven. This is around the time where the heroes have already left Earth. So they've already gotten the spaceships, took everybody off the planet, and they're gone. And they've been gone for 3 months. So time has just passed. They're just stuck in an orphanage. Before they do that, Slade sees that same closet with all those zombie shit like that, and just like, Gordon, what the fuck is behind there? Or like, those are the zombie kids and counselors and shit like that we just left them in there. And you're not gonna do anything with them? Nah, they're safe right here. Like, no, they're not safe. And then Jason Todd, talks to Gordon. He like, Jim, we're gonna need you to walk away for a second. And then Cassandra Cain, like, let's go, Jim, let's go check on the kids. So they go in the next room. And matter of fact, Jim, if they hear anything, just tell them it's a noise or something like that in the training room, something like that. So while they do that, they open the door, and all the bad guys just kill the fuck out of the zombies. Just shoot the shit out of them. Zombie going to beat the shit out of them, stuff like that. And so they're all dead. So for the next 3 months, they're just stuck there. And they're pretty much like, since we're going to be here, all these kids in Bloodhaven, we need to train them. Because in case if another zombie wave comes for them, these kids need to be ready. Their childhood is done. Because they're basically been left here by the heroes. And while they're training them, Jason Todd walks in on Slade training the kids. And he just like yelling at the kids and, being like really hard on them. And Jason's like, Slade, what the fuck you doing? He's a kid. Like, well, you're being too hard on him. He's like, yeah, you would say that. Yeah, Batman was way too soft on you. And Jason's like, wait, Batman was too wet on me? Like, do you know what that psychopath did? Yeah, I know what he did. He let you run before you walk. That's why you had a crazy ass clown cave your fucking skull in when you was a teenager. You're like, yeah, Slade, you a fucking asshole. So they're arguing back and forth and shit like that. And Bane is actually like buddy with Ace the Bat Hound, but Ace starts barking and shit. You're like, okay, what the fuck is going on? But he's not paying attention. What happened is a zombie Mirror Master comes through the mirror and slashes Bane's back. So now Bane is a zombie. Bane, since he's a zombie, decides to break open the wall that protects him from the rest of the other zombies. And now the other zombies are about to flood the orphanage, and the book ends. So the next issue is going to be the third issue, the final issue. I'm pretty sure everybody dies because of the zombie, which is going to be fucked up. So the Unkillables get killed. Overall, awesome book, man. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Tom Taylor just kills with this Elseworld shit, man. He just does it. So I wish they just like under the shit. Like, no, It's not Elseworld. This is the real shit. So
yeah, I thought it was fun too. I mean, it was a lot of fun little moments.
He nails
Jason Todd
these characters too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jason Todd and Rose hooking up. That moment with Slade and Gordon having their sort of pep talk conversation and shit.
Forgot about that.
Psyching each other up.
Yeah, because
that was a good moment.
Like, yeah, Gordon was like, yeah, I don't trust you, Slade. I can't work anybody I don't trust. You're like, you don't work anybody you don't trust. You're commissioner of Gotham PD. You're the most crooked police department on the planet. Half of the people that work for you work for me too. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you were the leader of the GCPD and shit. That's But that gym scene reminded me of Walking Dead. I think that was like a play on Walking Dead, a little
so
Walking Dead reference.
Like you don't have the stomach for this. Walk out the room. Yeah.
No, there was like a gym full of like zombies, and they had to clear it out, and that's where that was and from Walking Dead, he got locked in there overnight, and he killed them all. They got overrun, and they had to get out of there, and they left Tyrese in there, and then next morning they go back in, and Tyrese was the only one left. He killed all the zombies like single-handedly and shit. That was from The Walking Dead. But it was more of a playful, like, and the Billy Batson was in there.
Yeah, so I recognize the kid. But, like, oh well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm liking this better than the first DCeased arc, just because that first arc was like so epic and trying to kind of jumped all over the place, because it was dealing with all these heroes. This one is more focused on characters.
It's what you call a bottle episode. Yeah. In one area.
That's and that's the traditional zombie story. You focus on one group of characters, and you care about them, and that's kind of what this is. And this is like the anti-Walking Dead. It's more fun and campy, whereas The Walking Dead's all tragic and grim. This
Right.
one's just fun escapism. Yeah, I thought it was great. So.
Cool. Yeah, I'll let you go next.
Oh, okay. Well, Bitterroot #7. Have you
Okay.
read any of these yet?
Not a
Have
single
you
one.
read Bitterroot yet?
It's on my to-do list.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll try not to spoil it too much, but basically, so we go back into Dr. Sylvester's past. We find out about the tragedy that he's went through. His kids actually died in the Tulsa bombing.
Okay. Damn.
But he also met this demon who was taking the form of Miss Nightingale and who was killed. But this demon feeds on sorrow and pain. So it's different than the Jinyu. The Jinyu are these demons that feed off of hatred and bigotry, But then this demon, I forget what it's called, it feeds on sorrow and pain, And it's been affecting everyone around her, especially after the bombing. So everybody's kind of, mourning from the bombing. And this demon's going around possessing them because she feeds on grief. So kind of fucked up. But a family member of the Sangrias, that's what they're called, this family of demon hunters, the Sangrias, they're out there in Oklahoma, and they have a Native American sidekick, of course. They capture one of these new demons, and they bring him back to like the res. There's like a reservation, there's a village there, and they use the bitter root to cure them. And they figure that these are different from Jinnu demons. They feed on sorrow. So cut back to Harlem. We got Berg, the big giant dude. He's like the big top, the big huge Ben Grimm character who speaks in like really long words and shit. He was infected by a Jinnu, but now he's been cured. But he has a link because he was possessed. He has a link to those other demons, the sorrow demons, and he can feel the pain, and he can feel Dr. Sylvester's pain. So he knows what Dr. Sylvester went through. So, and I thought this was a really touching scene. Berg is all tortured by Sylvester's pain, and he's hurting. And Ma Etta, she's like the grandma, she's like the matriarch of the family. She comes and just holds him, just to hold him because he's in pain. And that just goes to show the empathy and how Berg is feeling somebody else's pain. Somebody else's pain is killing him. And then Ma Etta goes and hugs him, and like she's feeling pain because Berg feels pain. So it's just that theme of empathy,
Mm-hmm.
it was just like really touching, I thought, and it points out that the rate, this book is always a comment on the effects of racism, and this really points out like the racist trauma that people of color have had to endure, and Native elders. I've heard Native elders say that we or people of color have like inherited trauma from hundreds of years of our ancestors going through oppression.
Yeah,
That
my grandparents said the same
oppression
thing. So, yeah.
is ingrained. Yeah, it's ingrained in our ancestral DNA. Like PTSD is in our DNA. Like we're born with this trauma. We inherit the pain and sorrow and anger of our ancestors. So, but we also inherit their resistance and their will and their strength to survive, their resilience, because we are still here. So it's like that's also a reminder. We also inherit their strength. But once again, Bitterroot, it's just remains to be one of my favorite books right now. I mean, it works on so many levels, so many social commentary on racism, but also works as just a fun horror story too. So this is a 4 out of 5. Fuck it, 5 out of 5. Fuck it. It's a good book.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
And, are you done?
No, I got one more.
Okay.
Yeah, I got one more. I did a little overtime this time. All right. So the book I'm going to review this time is actually pretty interesting. This is going to be Outlawed #1. So this is that champion crossover book that they're getting ready, this crossover event that they're getting ready to start up. So this is the first book of that one. So basically, how the book starts off, it starts off with the champions, because it's a champions book. The champions are on trial, and they're asking them what the hell happened to the situation, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this and what happened to Miss Marvel, and because we got to find out what happened at the Coles incident. That's what they call the Coles disaster. And what they're talking about, the Coles disaster, is the Coles Academic High School, which is the school Kamala Khan goes to. So she goes to school, and they're going there, and the champions are undercover because they're trying to protect this student named Alana Cabal. I might be fucking the name up, but whatever. Anyway, the reason trying to protect her because she's a social influencer, and she's being hunted. They think she's being targeted by Roxxon because since she's a social influencer, she could convince people to basically rise up and to reject corporations, which Roxxon didn't want a part of. So the champions are trying to make sure it didn't happen to her. And while they're watching her, and Miles kind of like got a crush on shit like that. She's like, oh, she's so amazing, stuff like that, But while they're doing that, a fucking dragon attacks the school. So apparently, doing War of the Realms, they have these Asgardian monsters, shit like that. So they're thinking Roxxon, that's how Roxxon got their hand on a dragon. So it's in a dragon to go attack them. The champions, team together and shit like that, trying to fight the dragon. But they get the ass kicked. They're miscommunicating. They can't get on the same page, shit like that. So Vision is just like, fuck this. I'm going to take the monster out by myself because you guys can't get on the same page. I'm going to go take it out. So she rushes to it. She's going to do something and take the monster out. And while she's doing that, okay, so they got a dude on their team called Power Man, but he's not Luke Cage. Apparently, Iron Fist trained a black dude that has Luke Cage's strength in the ways of like his Iron Fist shit. So he's got the powers of Luke Cage and Iron Fist. So he does his Iron Fist shit and like Hadoukens a fist at her or some shit like that. Well, at the dragon. But I know it's not a Hadouken, but whatever the fuck it is. So when the Hadouken is getting ready to hit the dragon, Viv actually gets caught by the Hadouken. And she like goes fucking nuts and shit like that. And she's about to like explode the school and the town and shit like that. And she's about to go nuclear and shit. So Riri talks to Wasp. Wasp is like a teenager in this book, stuff like that. And she's like, Wasp, I need you to take Viv out because Viv is finna go crazy. And if we don't, she's gonna go nuts. But I want to do this at the last minute. So let me try to take her out first and talk her down. So Riri tries to, fly towards Viv to try to take her, try to calm her down. And Viv shoots at Riri. She's like, okay, there's no way to take her down other than to fire Wasp at her with an EMP in her brain and shut her down. You can see tears going down Riri's eyes and shit like that when she makes Wasp shrink down and shoots her into Viv. And when she does that, Viv pretty much just deactivates, just hit the ground. It kills the dragon. And it's just a huge disaster over there right now. And people are trying to figure out what the hell happened here. And that's when they started realizing that, oh, one of your people went crazy. One of your champions went crazy, shit like that. Oh, and that's why all the disaster happened. So people got hurt, broken arms and shit like that. So they decided that, okay, because of this disaster, we need to put rules on there, and we're just going to outlaw teen superheroes. If you are under 21, you are not allowed to be a superhero. And if you do, you are breaking the law. As a matter of fact, we're going to put a team together called I'm about to get it right now. Okay. They're going to put a team called the Child Hero Reconnaissance and Disruption Law Enforcement, or as they like to call, C.R.A.D.L.E. So C.R.A.D.L.E. is the new law enforcement team that is supposed to arrest any teenage or under superhero. So remember Moon Girl and shit like that? She's not a champion, but the C.R.A.D.L.E. kick in her door to arrest her, to get her. Kamala Khan is missing. Nobody knows where she's at. And matter of fact, the Senate passes the law calling it Camilla's Law. And when we see Kamala Khan again, Miss Marvel again, she's actually hospitalized because the building that was destroyed, she was caught in it. And she got fucked up. So that's how the book ends. So basically the teen heroes are outlawed. Miss Marvel's missing. She's comatose with her family. And yeah, that's the thing. Overall, cool story. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It was a good, strong intro. People are gonna say it's a Civil War ripoff. That's cool. Civil War is a ripoff. Civil War is actually a ripoff of an old X-Men story in the 80s when they were doing the Mutant Registration Act, where they tried to outlaw mutants back then. So Civil War just took it a step further when they do all superheroes. This taking a step further when it's outlawing teen superheroes. So every 20 years they tell the same fucking story. So don't give me that, oh, it's a Civil War ripoff. Everything is a ripoff nowadays. So I'm cool with the story. Let's see where they go from there. But yeah, that's it. All I got. I'm booked out.
All right. Well, the only ones I other got are these AWA books that came out this week.
Is that the ice cream?
I bought 3 of them.
No, that's AW.
AWA?
No, that's
Oh,
AW. The root
A&W.
beer. Yeah.
That's root beer. Yeah,
Okay.
AWA.
It's disgusting. But okay.
Damn, you don't like A&W either? What the?
Hell no, man. That's disgusting, man. That's
You don't like root beer?
no, man. That's struggle
Shit.
food, man. No, this I can't fuck that shit.
Jeez, man. No, but this is like a new company, putting out like more, I guess, more harder edged books. I guess they're more obviously more violence and more, nudity and shit like that, more adult oriented stuff. I read The Resistance, which is Mike Diodato Jr. and J. Michael Straczynski's book, and it's just about this virus that swept over the world and killed everybody. Most of this issue dealt with kind of like the reaction, how the political and societal reaction to the virus. But during all that, there's some people have abilities. I don't know if this virus came from space or something, but some people have abilities. So it's more of just this issue is just about setup and not much about character. So it was okay. I might give it another whirl. The art is awesome because it's Mike Diodato. So I might give it another whirl. The next one I read was The Hotell. I guess this is supposed to be like a Tales from the Crypt type of thing. It's this hotel where weird shit happens at, weird horror stories happen at. This one was about this pregnant woman who's on the run from her abusive husband, and she's having weird nightmares about her baby um, coming out of her like a demon baby or some shit. And at the end of the story, basically her demon baby, her demon baby comes out and she gives the demon baby to her husband, who shows up at the hotel. He's like, here, yeah, this is all the evil that you are. You can have him. Kind of weird, kind of strange. The only reason why I picked up that book was because it was written by, what's that dude's name? It's not loading. My internet's being slow. But the guy who wrote the Hotel book wrote a book called Sink, this indie book about this like Glasgow, Scotland's like street gangs and shit and all this. It's a really violent book. It's crazy, and it's called Sink. And it ain't on Comixology. I got it from my comic shop, so Comixology ain't got everything.
Right.
But I got the actual physical books from my comic shop, and they're just really crazy, violent street gangs and killer clowns, and yeah, it's crazy book. But that guy wrote this Hotel book, so that's the only reason why I got it. And then the last book I got was Red Border, which has to do with the Mexican border, and these two teenagers are on the run from the cartels. They cross the border, and they got the drug dealers after them. When they try to get to the border, the drug dealers are sniped out by some sniper dude in a cowboy hat. And then he's like, "Yeah, come on along with me. You can come meet my family." So I don't know if it's like some sort of Texas Chainsaw thing about to happen, but it's intriguing. And this is really bloody and violent, and there's tits and all that shit, So yeah, the art is really good too. Who wrote? Okay, now my thing's up. Who wrote this one? Oh crap! I gotta go. What's his name? Alex Alonso.
Never heard of him.
So he wrote that. He worked on like Punisher Max and Ant-Man, and So yeah, this AWA is just a new company, a new comic book publishing company with a bunch of like top tier writers and artists, kind of like Image. They're doing their own thing now, doing their own stories they can't do that, that the big two won't let them do. So Red Border was probably might have been my favorite one. I thought the Resistance was okay. Even though it was all just a setup, I'd like to know I might check it out just because of the art and just to find out what is that exactly happening. And then the Hotel one, I'll check that one out too, just because it's supposed to be like a different horror story every book. And then there was another one they did. It was called Archangel or something, but it looked all biblical and I didn't care. It looked like Spawn, another war on Earth between angels and demons, in the city, So it just looked like Spawn. I was like, I don't. So, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Something other than than the big two to read. So yeah, check it out.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
All right, so seems like we're all booked out. Yeah, another episode. Like I said, we got a chance to really talk about everything. And if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. Hopefully, no more crazier shit will happen. Hopefully, we have some good news. Maybe they'll pass that bill where they get our money. They've listened to Comic Cast. Listen to the books that they did this week. I guess they're all going to freak out next week because everything's going digital. So maybe they'll cancel or something. I don't know. This Geeks and Comics, System Destruction, Get Valiant. They still have not done a Bloodshot review. I am highly disappointed. I told Eric that this morning, so hopefully get on that. And yeah, we'll just see how it goes from there. So yeah, we'll see. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel. Okay, cool.